They told me I'd slow down by 70, that my body would betray me, that illness was inevitable. But here I am at 89, sharper than people half my age, driving cross-country last month, haven't seen a doctor for anything serious in decades, and no, it's not good genes. My father died at 65. My mother struggled with diabetes for years. What I have isn't luck, it's a system. 5 daily rituals that turned my aging process around completely. Some are so ridiculously simple, you'll wonder how something that basic could possibly work. But they do. And I'm about to share exactly what I do and why you should probably start tonight. Let me start with the most important one, the foundation everything else builds on. Every single night, 2 hours before bed, I stop eating. Not because I'm on some trendy diet, because I discovered something profound about how the body repairs itself. When you eat late, your digestive system stays active all night. Your liver can't focus on detoxification. Your growth hormone production drops, your sleep becomes shallow and restless. But when you give your body a window of fasting before sleep, magic happens. It's called autophagy. Think of it as your body's clean-up crew finally getting to work. I learned this the hard way. In my 60s, I used to snack until bedtime. Ice cream at 9 p.m., crackers at 10. I'd wake up groggy, puffy, like I'd been hit by a truck. My joints ached. My mind felt cloudy. Then a Japanese researcher explained something that changed everything. He said the body has 2 modes, digest or repair, never both. When you're constantly processing food, especially at night, repair shuts down. Cellular damage accumulates. Inflammation builds. You age faster. So I made a rule. Kitchen closes at 7 p.m. Those first few nights were tough. My stomach growled. I felt restless. But within a week, something shifted. I started waking up refreshed. My skin looked clearer. The puffiness around my eyes disappeared. Energy lasted all day instead of crashing after lunch. Research from Johns Hopkins confirms this. They found that intermittent fasting, even just 12 to 14 hours overnight, increases autophagy by up to 300%. Your cells literally start eating their own damaged parts and rebuilding themselves stronger. But here's what really convinced me. About 15 years ago, I had blood work done. My doctor was confused. He said my inflammatory markers looked like someone 20 years younger. My cellular age, measured through DNA methylation, had actually decreased. He asked what I was doing differently. I told him about the eating window. He didn't believe it at first, said it was too simple. But the numbers don't lie. Every morning, before I even think about coffee, I do something that floods my system with more oxygen than most people get all day. I spend exactly 4 minutes breathing like my life depends on it. Because honestly, it does. This isn't meditation or mindfulness or any of that mystical stuff. This is pure biology, and it's the closest thing to a fountain of youth I've ever found. Here's what I do. I sit on the edge of my bed, feet flat on the floor, spine straight. Then I breathe in for 4 counts through my nose, hold for 7, and exhale through my mouth for 8 counts. I do this pattern exactly 8 times. That's it. 4 minutes total. Sounds almost too simple, right? But those 4 minutes deliver more oxygen to my brain than most people get in an hour. And oxygen is everything. It's fuel for every cell, food for every organ, especially your brain and heart. Dr. Andrew Weil from Harvard studied this exact breathing pattern. He found it activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the part that handles rest and repair. Blood pressure drops, heart rate variability improves, stress hormones plummet. But here's the part that really matters for aging. This type of breathing increases something called nitric oxide production. Nitric oxide keeps your blood vessels flexible and your circulation strong. As we age, nitric oxide naturally declines. That's why older people often have cold hands, poor circulation, even memory issues. But controlled breathing brings it back. I noticed the difference within days. My hands and feet felt warmer. Colours seemed brighter, like someone had adjusted the contrast on life itself. My thinking became clearer. Words came easier. Even my sleep improved because my nervous system learned to downshift properly. There's something else this breathing does that most people never realize. It strengthens your diaphragm. That muscle weakens with age, which is why older adults often breathe shallow, chest-only breaths. But 4 minutes of deep diaphragm breathing every morning keeps that muscle strong and your lung capacity high. A study from the European Respiratory Journal showed that seniors who practice controlled breathing had lung function comparable to people 15 years younger. 15 years just from breathing correctly. Now, I never skip it, even when I'm traveling, even when I'm rushed, because those 4 minutes buy me energy for the entire day. My oxygen levels stay high, my thinking stays sharp, my body feels decades younger than it is. You don't need equipment, you don't need apps or timers. Just 4 counts in, 7 counts hold, 8 counts out, 8 rounds, 4 minutes. Your cells will thank you, your brain will thank you, and your energy levels will remind you why breathing isn't just automatic, it's an opportunity. The third thing I do might surprise you because it goes against everything we're told about aging. Every afternoon, no matter what's happening, I take a 20-minute power nap. Not because I'm tired, because I'm smart. Most people think napping is for children or lazy people. They fight the urge to rest, push through the fatigue, wear exhaustion like a badge of honor. But I learned something that changed my perspective completely. Planned rest isn't weakness, it's maintenance. Around 2 p.m. every day, my body naturally wants to rest. That's not laziness, that's circadian biology. Your core temperature drops slightly, your alertness dips, your body literally says, let's pause and recharge. Most people fight this with caffeine or willpower. I embrace it. I go to my bedroom, set a gentle alarm for 20 minutes, and I let my body do what it's asking for. And the results are incredible. When I wake up, it's like someone replaced my batteries. My mood is better, my focus is laser sharp. My immune system gets a boost because rest is when your body produces infection-fighting cells. Even my digestion improves because stress hormones drop during quality rest. Research from NASA found that pilots who took 26-minute naps improved their alertness by 100% and their performance by 34%. If it works for people flying planes, imagine what it does for daily life. But here's the key. It has to be exactly 20 minutes. Any longer, and you risk entering deep sleep, which leaves you groggy. Any shorter, and your nervous system doesn't fully reset. 20 minutes is the sweet spot. Your brain cycles through the lighter stages of sleep, clears out mental clutter, and consolidates memory without the grogginess. I discovered this by accident. About 20 years ago, I was helping my neighbor move furniture. Heavy lifting, lots of stairs. By afternoon, I was wiped out. Instead of pushing through, I told myself I'd rest for just a few minutes. I woke up 20 minutes later feeling like I could move mountains. That's when I realized rest wasn't the enemy of productivity. It was the secret weapon. Now, every afternoon, same time, same duration. My body expects it, my mind craves it, and my energy stays consistent from morning to night instead of that brutal afternoon crash most people accept as normal. Studies from Harvard show that regular nappers have 37% lower risk of heart disease and significantly better cognitive function as they age. Your brain literally cleans itself during rest, flushing out toxins that contribute to memory loss and confusion. So tomorrow at 2 p.m., when your energy dips and your mind feels foggy, don't reach for caffeine. Reach for your pillow. Give your body those 20 minutes of pure, intentional rest. Because the strongest people aren't those who never rest. They're the ones who rest before they need to. What I'm about to tell you might sound backwards, but it's kept my bones stronger at 89 than they were at 50. Every morning I expose my skin to sunlight for exactly 15 minutes. No sunscreen, no hat, just me and the sun. Before you panic about skin damage, hear me out. This isn't about getting a tan. It's about getting vitamin D, and the way nature intended. You see, vitamin D isn't really a vitamin. It's a hormone, and almost every cell in your body has receptors for it. Your immune cells need it to function. Your bones need it to stay dense. Your muscles need it to stay strong. Even your brain needs it to stay sharp. But here's what most people don't know. You can't get enough vitamin D from food or pills. You need the sun. When UVB rays hit your skin, they trigger a chemical reaction that produces vitamin D3, the most bioavailable form your body can use. A process that's been happening for millions of years, but we've forgotten in our indoor sunscreen-obsessed world. And the cost of that forgetting is enormous. Vitamin D deficiency is linked to osteoporosis, depression, weak immunity, even cognitive decline. I figured this out when my doctor told me my vitamin D levels were dangerously low, despite taking supplements religiously. He suggested light therapy, but I had a simpler idea. Every morning at 8 a.m. I step outside, face to the sun for 15 minutes, arms exposed, legs if weather permits. I'm not trying to burn, I'm trying to activate. The change was dramatic. Within months my vitamin D levels tripled. My bone density actually improved, something doctors said was impossible at my age. My mood stabilized. Those winter blues I used to get completely disappeared. Even my sleep improved because vitamin D helps regulate melatonin production. There's science backing this up. Research from Boston University shows that just 15 minutes of midday sun exposure can produce up to 20,000 international units of vitamin D. That's more than you'd get from 200 glasses of milk. A study in the Journal of Investigative Dermatology found that moderate sun exposure actually reduces the risk of melanoma compared to intermittent burning from occasional intense exposure. But timing matters. I do this before 10 a.m. when UVB rays are present but not overwhelming, never during peak hours, never long enough to burn, just enough to signal my body to start producing what it needs. And I'm consistent. Cloudy day, still outside, winter morning, still 15 minutes, even if it's just my face and hands. People think sun exposure is dangerous, but hiding from the sun completely might be more dangerous. Your body was designed to work with sunlight, not against it. Those 15 minutes aren't just about vitamin D. They reset your circadian rhythm, improve your mood through serotonin production, and even help regulate your appetite and metabolism. So tomorrow morning, step outside. Feel the sun on your skin for exactly 15 minutes. No phone, no rushing, just you receiving what nature freely gives. Your bones will strengthen, your mood will lift, and your body will remember what it feels like to work with the sun instead of hiding from it. The last habit might be the most important one, and it's something I do every single evening without fail. Right before bed, I write down 3 things. Not in a journal, not on my phone, on a small piece of paper that I keep in my nightstand drawer. 3 things that went well today. That's it. Sounds almost silly, doesn't it? But this tiny practice has protected my mind and body in ways I never expected. Here's why this works. Your brain has a negativity bias. It's designed to remember problems, threats, and failures more vividly than successes. That was useful when we lived in caves, but it's killing us now. Especially as we age, this bias gets stronger. We ruminate on health worries, replay embarrassing moments, catastrophize about the future. All of that stress creates inflammation, weakens immunity, and literally ages your brain faster. But when you intentionally focus on what went right, you rewire that pattern. You train your brain to scan for good instead of bad, and the effects are profound. Your stress hormones drop, your sleep quality improves, your immune system strengthens, even your pain tolerance increases because gratitude and pain can't coexist in the same mental space. Dr. Robert Emmons from UC Davis spent decades studying gratitude. His research shows that people who practice gratitude have stronger immune systems, lower blood pressure, better sleep, and even live longer. But here's what really convinced me to never skip this habit. About 10 years ago, I went through a rough patch. Lost some good friends, had some financial worries, the usual challenges that pile up with age. I noticed I was becoming bitter, cynical, always focused on what was wrong. My health started slipping. I caught every bug that went around. My energy tanked. My joints ached more. That's when I realized my mind was poisoning my body. So I started the 3 good things practice. Every night, no matter how hard the day was, I found 3 things. Sometimes big things, like a great conversation with my grandson. Sometimes tiny things, like the way morning light hit my kitchen table. Within weeks, I felt different, lighter, more hopeful. My sleep improved because I went to bed with good thoughts instead of worries. My immune system bounced back because chronic stress wasn't suppressing it anymore. Even my relationships improved because I started noticing the good in people instead of their flaws. The magic isn't in the writing, it's in the searching. When you commit to finding 3 good things daily, you start looking for them. You become a detective for joy, a hunter for hope. And what you look for, you find. What you find, you feel. What you feel shapes your health. These aren't complicated things. Wake up gently, breathe deeply, fast overnight, get some sun, walk daily, eat protein, rest when needed, end with gratitude. But together, they've given me 3 decades of vitality that most people think is impossible. And the best part, you can start any of them today, right now, this moment. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to do all 5 immediately. Pick one. The one that speaks to you, the one that feels possible. Do it tomorrow, then the next day, then the next. Because small changes, done consistently, become powerful transformations. And your body is still listening, still capable, still waiting for you to remember what it feels like to truly take care of yourself. But there's something else I do, something I haven't shared yet. An evening ritual that might be the most powerful of all. Something that happens in those quiet moments before sleep when your body does its deepest healing work. We'll explore that secret next, because the journey to lasting health never really ends. It just gets better.